This week in comic books, Duo #1 comes out, and it is brilliantly done. And I'm going to tell you why. It's just so. It's mwah, thank you. On the land of Marvel, Banner Wars coming out, and I finally figured out this whole astronaut Hulk thing, spaceship Hulk thing. It's just a bad manga. It's just bad manga at this point. I'm going to tell you why. And also in the land of independence, we get Alice Ever After, and this is great. I love reading this because it's like fear and loathing in a mental institution, right? So let's roll the intro and get into it. You wonderful weirdos, Pocan Joe here with this week's comic haul and review and quick breakdown of what we picked up. What was it at about? And more importantly, was it, good is subjective, but what did I think of it? Not that you should care, but you should definitely pick up your own books. We're going to start off with Duo. So Duo, this is smart, right? It's smartly written. It's really good. I like this concept. Two people being merged together. One kind of being suppressed inside of the individual, I guess is the best way to put it. We have a couple here, and all they've ever wanted to do was create healthier people. So they developed nanotechnology to help you heal and stuff like that. Lab accident, people want to take it over. But the people that want to take it over are probably the more interesting ones, because I don't think they're like villains, right? They're just going down a wrong path. Apparently they're immortal. They run a pharmaceutical company, which makes sense. But there's a bigger picture inside of this universe with our brand new characters that have just been introduced to us. So yeah, this was smart. I'm not going to say it was my pick of the week. I really enjoyed it. I need to grasp the story a little bit more before I make a total call on it. But right now, as of today, or this week, I enjoyed this. This was pretty good, and I want to follow up more on this so I can speak to it better. Next, Shadow Wars. So, Shadow Wars, what's going on? This is just Talia Ghul, just cleaning house, right? We find out that Black Canary and an Angel Breaker, what's with these names, were friends at one point. And what do whenever you run into your old friends? You fight. Especially when you're on opposite sides of the coin. So basically you're getting like 3 stories in here, really. The last story deals with Ghostmaker, kind of confirming that whole Clown Hunter being his sidekick, but they've also brought in this Black Spider character to kind of, I don't know, be the comedy relief of the team, I guess. So there's a little bit of a team there. And we kind of test Clown Hunter's mettle and what he's learned through Ghost Hunter in here, and apparently he's taken that role very seriously. So this is interesting. Not all the stories, I'll be honest with you. The one where Talia meets her mother, or grandmother I should say, grandmother, Mother Soul, who was introduced to us in Robin, right, the last run of Robin. They kind of meet, and that's just a weird relationship. I'm not really sure how I feel about just cramming 3 stories in here and getting just that much information at a time. I hope this isn't something that follows through, like all the books that come out just have these little snippet stories as they go through. Because honestly, I'm just worried about what's going on right now. I don't need a whole bunch of flashbacks of Talia's past and stuff like that. But, who knows? Let's see what comes out. I would definitely want to see some more of this Clown Hunter character. I know a lot of people spent a lot of money on those first appearances, covers, design covers. Let's see if any of that paid out for any of those guys, that this character actually goes anywhere. We'll see. Next, World's Finest. So, you have 3 things going on in this book. DC's been cramming a lot of things into their books lately, and it's kind of distracting. So in the first hand, we get Superman and Batman realize that our new baddie, right, this Niza, I want to say Niza. If I mispronounce that, I apologize. This Niza villain is using superheroes and villains to kind of slow down or distract, right, our 2 heroes. And also, we got Doom Patrol. They're trying to figure out where his temple, Naz's temple, was at one point, because something's there, right? And then we get Robin and Supergirl, who flew into the past, right, to find the people that had actually defeated this individual before. And what do you do when superhero team and superhero team meet up? You fight. right? You just fight for whatever reason. So they're battling it out and trying to come to like, hey, we don't want to fight. We just need some information. We're dealing with a guy that you dealt with, yada, yada, yada. So that's pretty much what's going on in here. For the most part, it's an okay read. It's a fun read. But again, you're just getting like these little snapshots of a story instead of something that is conclusive that I can wrap my mind around. I'm just getting like a quick flash of things. And it kind of, I don't know, I feel like you're stealing from the story. I don't know, what do you think about this particular format? I really want to know. What am I, maybe I just need to, see, I don't want to open up my imagination for a story, right? I just want to read the story. That's why I buy comic books with pictures in them. But I don't know, definitely, what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so this is kind of a weird one. So Savage Avengers pops back out, and if you haven't heard the news, Marvel lost Conan the Barbarian. Like, that property, right, that copyright properties, it does not belong to Marvel anymore. And yet this book still came out, so I don't know if there was some sort of deal where they could finish out the run. Maybe the run was already done and it's canned, which, you know, wouldn't violate any copyright laws at that point. But I'm kind of curious if this storyline will be the death of Conan, right, in the Marvel Universe. Obviously in this one, not so much. Basically, his team in this particular Savage Avengers is all the characters that are kind of not the most popular ones. You got characters like Conan, Black Knight, right, Weapon H, Cloak and Dagger, Daredevil, Elektra Daredevil, Anti-Venom, you know, the Flash Gordon Venom, yeah, him. And of course, in this particular issue, they're all battling it out with Deathlock. Deathlock's going to be the key Terminator type. He's back from time. Conan's done something to disrupt the timeline. All the teams are coming together to kind of help out Conan in this situation. So will this be the death of Conan? That would be interesting. I think that would be a key book to have in your collection. If all of a sudden they're like, because they don't own him anymore, right? So I think a firm, you know, mental grasp would be this is the end of Conan in the Marvel Universe. I don't know. What do you think? Definitely let me know. But that's pretty much a snapshot of the story. Basically, all of the common thread between all of our characters is one, right? They all have a sense of self-importance to them, right? Like Weapon H did as a soldier. They all had to learn hard lessons. There's this kind of dark past to all of them. And then we're kind of throwing them all together to figure out what they can do. I think it's interesting, no doubt. But again, it's one of those things where just too many characters at one time, that other characters, as you know, things start happening, will start kind of fading into the background unless they just kill everybody off, which that would be an interesting take. That, and I'm just not a fan of Cloak and Dagger. I tried to watch the show. I read the last few runs. I've read some of the older runs back in the day. It's just I'm not interested in. I don't know. Maybe this storyline will change my mind. Next, Thor 25. So this breaks into the Banner War, and then they're doing the thing where now you got to catch this conclusion of this story. And Hulk, like, they're doing the back and forth thing, so you have to get both titles. And I'm just like, I don't want to chase down books like that. Just give me the book already. Make my shopping experience easier, and I will buy more. I promise you. But in this, basically what we get is Odin was released from Mjolnir to kind of find out what's going inside of Hulk, because he's a spaceship now. And he gets a flashback of what happened in El Paso, right? This was described, or this was covered in Immortal Hulk run early. So, yeah, so what? Like, that's kind of where I'm at with all this. I just don't care. And like I said in the bumper, you know, this is all just bad manga, because at one point we had kaijus, right, a few issues ago, and now we got mech warriors because Tony Stark is like, nah, I don't like the way Hulk beat me, so I'm going to travel off into space in my new mech suit that's just overgunned and just blast them away. It's like you're trying to fit all the things of what would make a manga interesting, and you're trying to cram them and then tell this complicated backstory and try to have some sort of connection with the reader at the same time by mentioning things from the past. And it's too much. It's very muddled. It's very thick to read through it. I can see where somebody really likes this, no doubt. Also, Marvel did the thing where they fit 2 other stories in here, and honestly, one's just extremely cartoony and annoying, and I'm pretty sure the other one's just a reprint. I don't know why the story sounds so familiar. It's even done up in an old school style. I'm pretty sure that's a rule, but it deals with Enchantress. This wasn't that interesting. All right, Lethal Protector, Venom 2 comes out. So, Venom and Humbug, right? They battle it out. Sonic Blast beats them. In this particular issue, the villains that Humbug was trying to associate himself with, because that would be a job, they kind of blew him off. And in this, they're like, nah, wait, you can beat Venom. So, yeah, you can be on the team. We'll just use you. And they try to use him as a distraction so they can try to burn Venom. That didn't work out. And then when it came time for Venom to kind of just end this whole thing with Humbug, like just drop that body, he just kind of realized he's just a guy that's trying to get money to further his research, to show that bugs can somehow or another enhance, humanity in some weird woo-woo way. It's campy. But at the end of it, we get something interesting. We get a person, part of a research lab, right? Don't get hung up on which one it is. Doesn't really matter. But she basically tells Venom, hey, I can take care of that whole, sensitivity to sonic waves and all this other stuff. So what kind of testing are we going to do on Venom? And do we even care? I'm going to go with a no. No. Next, Fantastic Four. Talking about a book that has a lot going on in it. Oh my God, and it's my fault because I have been off of Fantastic Four for a while, and I saw, a design cover, and I'm like, I flipped through it, saw some Doctor Doom stuff, and I was like, yeah, okay, let's read through it. So in this storyline, there's an invasion from aliens. There's one particular alien that has let's just call him an avatar or servant that's going around and collecting pieces of some armor that can take over the universe or whatever. And all this is related back to the Watchers and the First War and all this, right? So this cat's running around just dropping bodies everywhere, gathering this armor up. And then the last thing he has to take it from Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom ain't having it. Doctor Doom tricks the puppet master, if you will, into coming where he's at. And this was actually the coolest part of the whole thing. The guy's like, you bested me. You should at least know who I am. He goes to take off his mask, and Doctor Doom's like irrelevant and just blast him. He's like, I'm not here in your mess. So now, what was a servant at one point now is a colleague with Doctor Doom, I think is the best way to put it, because he's like, you can work for me if you want to. You have a choice. Right? That's what I always liked about Doctor Doom. Like, he's the bad guy, right? But he does the right thing. It's weird, right? Okay. Let's see here. The Reed's kids jumped into a portal, and they have no idea where they're at. Reed Richards and Thing Sue Storm, yeah, they're all trapped on some hellscape that's just making everybody miserable, horrible people. And a bunch of our cosmic heroes that travel space, like Starjammers and all them, have come together to go fight the alien invasion thing. And while all that's going on, political rivalry is happening on the Watchers planet, right? And the secrets that they've kept, and the whole what if, thing being questioned and interfering with people. So yeah, all that I just said is happening, just dropped into this many pages. And it's really hard to follow because it just jumps around. It's so weird. But I like it, and I wanted more of this, but unfortunately, I don't know. I'll probably pick up the next issue just to see if I can clear out some of this story and see what's actually connecting and what's not. Last, Alice Ever After. I'm liking this. So basically, I've reviewed issue 1 of this. Definitely go back and check that out. It was a pretty good one. Alice, right, in real world, right, goes to a mental institution because she knows she can get the medicine she wants. It makes her hallucinate about, Wonderland, right? But as you're looking around, you start seeing all these characters strongly represent characters within Wonderland. Like, there's one scene where she goes into, she's in the mental ward, and she's out in, the community area, if you will. And, of course, there's the walrus, there's the rabbit, there's the Mad Hatter, you kind of get it. The twins, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, you know, they're like the guards there, and everything's dark and gritty, and then it's like Victorian England at the same time. So it's interesting. I really enjoy this. Again, I don't enjoy it because it's a comic book. It's just an interesting take on a classic tale that Disney never really owned. But for some reason, they own it now. And I think it's just a great take on that story and how you can kind of twist things and bring grittiness and reality to it, but you can still have some whimsical fun with it at the same time. I think this is a good mixture of the two. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. So that's my comic haul this week. It was a good week. Definitely keep your eyes open over at the Evil Lair. The Bat Signal will be coming out at the end of the month, so definitely hit that notification bell over there. That will pop out. I'm almost done with it, and we're going to see what happens. We've run into a few snags. We're going to figure it out, and it will be out on time. Other than that, I don't have anything else, so I'll talk to you all later. Bye.